The buzzer beaters, the crowd, the Cinderellas. College basketball is a beautiful game filled with the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. The start of every season brings a fresh start for every team and every player. A chance for teams to fold under the burden of their expectations. A chance for teams to receive redemption for a previous season that was cut shorter than they had hoped. And of course, a chance for teams and players expected to do nothing to shock the world. This channel will be dedicated to discussing and analyzing all that goes on in the college basketball world. Welcome to the CBB Report. With the season just beginning, let's go through each conference and rank the teams. Today, let's do our too early 2022-2023 rankings for one of the deepest conferences in college basketball, the ACC. While I love ranking teams, I do not believe it provides a clear picture of the competition levels between teams. The difference between a team I rank 7 and a team I rank 8 can be extremely marginal, and both teams can probably flip-flop on my rankings. The same things go for 3 and 4, 5 and 6, etc. etc. That is why I've created a tier list to show off different levels of competition. In the ACC, I have created 5 tiers, the 5th being the lowest and the 1st being the highest. Today, let's rank Tier 3, which I have named Fitting the Puzzle. Tier 3, Fitting the Puzzle, is my smallest tier, with just 2 teams, but both these teams are unique in my opinion. Both these teams are much more talented than the Tier 4 and 5 teams, but unlike Tier 2 and 1 teams, they have glaring flaws that can hold them back, and I'm not sure how they're going to put all that talent together. These teams will probably both just miss out on March Madness. Depending on the strength of the ACC, one of these teams may be able to sneak their way into the tournament. These teams will also probably be the most inconsistent teams. Some nights they will look amazing, and other nights they'll totally look lost on the court. The worst team in Tier 3 fitting the puzzle, and the 9th best team in the ACC is Clemson. Clemson did not have a great offseason, and because of this, head coach Brad Brownell may be on the hot seat by the end of the season. In the early stages of the season, Clemson has handled their business, going 8-2 with a close loss to South Carolina and a close loss to Iowa. That said, I expect the Tigers to drop more games once they fully get into ACC play. Clemson lost 4 of its top 7 scorers and had many unexpected losses in the transfer portal, including Alamir Dawes. Because of these losses, finding multiple scoring options on this team may be difficult. In the transfer portal, Brownell got point guard Brevin Galloway from Boston College, which was a solid get. On the recruiting front, Brownell got 4 solid 3-star recruits in small forward RJ Godfrey, combo guard Dylan Hunter, power forward Chauncey Wiggins, and shooting guard Chauncey Gibson. The starting 5 should be Brevin Galloway, Alex Hemingway, Chase Hunter, Hunter Tyson, and PJ Hall. Galloway is a solid floor general, but nothing really special. You could also see Clemson run a rare brother backcourt with both Chase and Dylan Hunter. Hunter Tyson and the Hunter brothers should be solid players, but this team just does not have enough scoring options, and the defense isn't amazing to make up for it. For Clemson to exceed expectations, they are going to need star center PJ Hall. Hall just recently returned from injury, and with a great season from him, the Tigers could make some noise. Hall will have to shoulder the load though, especially inside, and if he's able to make the defense over-concentrate on him, that could help the rest of Clemson's starters get involved and start knocking down shots. The bench has some talent, but is overall young and inexperienced. The bench includes RJ Godfrey, Ben Middlebrooks, Ian Schieffelin, Josh Beadle, and Dylan Hunter. Overall, this Clemson team is solid, but without a true breakout from PJ Hall, they do not have enough scoring options or elite defense to be in Tier 2 or 3. That is why I project them to go 8-12 or 9-11 in the ACC and finish in 9th place. The 8th best team in the ACC and the best team in Tier 3 will be Syracuse. This is Jim Boeheim's 47th season at the helm of the Orange. That's crazy, and props to him. Last year, though, was extremely disappointing for Syracuse as they actually had a losing record. Now, Cole Swider and the Boeheim brothers have gone off to pursue professional careers. That leaves Jim Boeheim with a very young and inexperienced but talented team. It has been a mixed bag to start the season for Syracuse. They got upset by Bryant and Colgate, they lost to St. John's, and they got blown out by Illinois. But they did beat a tough Richmond squad by 3, and they did beat Notre Dame by 1, which was definitely an upset victory. So it's been a mixed bag, as I said. Anyway, this might sound crazy, but I think there's a chance this team can be slightly better without Swider and the Boeheim brothers. Syracuse fans are probably up in arms about me saying this seemingly blasphemous sentence, but just hear me out for a second. There's no doubt that the Orange is going to miss the scoring production of the Boeheim brothers and Swider, but the Boeheim brothers particularly were really bad defensively. Syracuse was a team that used to be built on a defensive identity, not a remake of the all-white boys YMCA team that could never miss a three-point shot. Also, on the offensive side, the Boeheim brothers were extremely streaky. In some games, they could not miss, and Syracuse would win, but in others, they could not get the ball in the basket, and that sunk Syracuse because they weren't scoring, and then they were also bad defensively. The Orange should also improve defensively, especially with a healthy Jesse Edwards returning to the fold. Edwards is an extremely underrated center in the ACC, and I think is part of the second tier of centers in the ACC. Yes, obviously the loss of the Boeheim brothers will affect the offense negatively, but Syracuse has offensive talent coming in. In the transfer portal, Boeheim got center Munir Hima from Duquesne. He has already provided really solid depth at the center position, an underrated pickup for Boeheim. The recruiting class consists of prized combo guard and high 4-star recruit Judah Mintz, 4-star small forward recruit Justin Taylor, high 3-star combo guard Quadir Copeland, 3-star power forward Malik Brown, 3-star power forward Peter Carey. The starting five for the Orange should be Judah Mintz, Joe Girard, Chris Bell, Benny Williams, and Jesse Edwards. There is talent all over that starting five, starting with freshman point guard Judah Mintz, who's already establishing himself as an impact freshman and a star at Syracuse. He's now being projected to go late in the first round because of his great play for the Orange. He has shown unusual veteran presence as a point guard for just a freshman. Mintz is also a great athlete, playmaker, and scorer. As said earlier, Edwards will start at the center, and he's extremely underrated. Edwards is both solid offense and very good at defense, and he's a great anchor for the zone Boeheim always runs. Girard is a veteran on this team, and though he's not great defensively like Boeheim brothers, he can have games where he can't miss. Though, he also has games where he can totally not hit. Benny Williams was a high 4-star prized recruit last year that disappointed his freshman season, but as a sophomore, he can reassert himself as the star he's supposed to become. There is still plenty of time for him. If Williams can turn into a star both defensively and offensively, Syracuse can break into Tier 2, though he hasn't really shown that early on in the season. Chris Bell, formerly known as Chris Bunch, was another prize recruit that Syracuse got last year, actually fighting off my very own Rutgers. Yet last year as a freshman, he was disappointing, but that does not mean he can't break out. All the talent is there, he's just going to need to put it all together this year. Williams and Bell should both improve the Orange's defense, even if they never live up to their offensive potential. I don't know on offense though how confident I am with Bell or Williams considering how they played last year, but all the talent is there. The bench is also young and talented. It consists of John Bull Ajak. Samir Torrance is a pretty good sixth man. This is a young team, and there's always a lot of variability with the young team. They can crash and burn and be in the fourth tier, or they can all break out and excel and be in the lower rungs of the second tier. That said, even though the defense has improved, I still don't think it's great, and the offense is banking a lot on two sophomores who are disappointing as freshmen to break out. Either way, this should be a new and exciting season for Syracuse fans, and by the end of the season, we will know a lot about this team. Right now, I have sitting 10-10 and 8th in the ACC. That is my ACC Tier 3, fitting the puzzle, rankings, and team breakdowns. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments some video ideas to make during the rest of the college basketball season. Follow the TikTok, the CBB Report. Subscribe, like, and comment with your thoughts. Where was I right? Where do you think I went wrong? Let me know down below, and thank you for watching.